All right, welcome back to the Brown Balls podcast. Brother, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you, man?
Good, man. We got a lot of stuff happening. It's only preseason football, but holy moly, we got stuff happening, contract stuff happening, NBA stuff happening. Got a lot of stuff to go over today. So let's get first and foremost, the GOAT gets his trophy. Are you surprised that it was this early? I think that was one of the controversies. Is it too soon, or is it just right? What do you think?
You know what's crazy, man? First, I didn't like the fact that he got it during the preseason game. I thought that was a very bad move. Second, it wasn't publicized enough.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I had no idea
Same.
he was getting a statue. I had no idea. We could have talked about it last week. I had no idea he was getting a statue. So it wasn't publicized at all. And second of all, like I said, first of all, going back to, I hate the fact that they did it in the preseason. Why are you doing it during a preseason? Why not let it be, because like NFL has a really amazing rule, right? It doesn't matter if you're the number one team or if you're the 30th team in the standings. Mm-hmm. Every team gets a national televised game. Mm-hmm. You can be the sorriest team. You can be the Oakland Raiders, or you can be, the Rams. You'll get a national televised game. Patriots are in the bottom shelf. We all know that. They were going to get one national televised game. It could have been a Sunday night, Monday night, a Thursday night, whatever you want to say. It could be one of those nights, where they're the primetime team who are going to play. Why not do it then? Why not do it when it matters? This guy is not only a legend for Patriots, but he's a legend for football. This guy is arguably probably the best player ever to put a jersey on for NFL. I mean, this goes by saying like he's legitimately Michael Jordan of this era or this whole, NFL. So for him to get a trophy, for him to get a statue during a preseason game, meaningless game, like no one knew about it. I mean, think about it. If it was a national televised game, they could have had it like, like people there, guest people, I don't know, man. I really felt like they shouldn't have done this during preseason. I hate it. Yeah. What's your take, man? You're the Brady guy. You're wearing number 12.
Yep. Same. Honestly, I was surprised. I mean, as far as should he get it now? I think yes, right? You celebrate when the greatness is still here. I think, they always say that he had 2 Hall of Fame careers. He had one, to cut his 20 years into 2 individual careers, is still both Hall of Fame. So he's a GOAT. Obviously, we all know that. But I agree with you in the fact that they didn't say anything. I'm a big Brady guy. He didn't even put it on his social media like that. He's gonna be doing it. It was after the fact, and I was like, shoot, you gotta his statue put up already. I think there's definitely a miss. I'm not sure if there's some other politics behind it, because there has to be a reason why they did it this way. The Patriots are not gonna just do it like this unless there's some other reason behind it. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's some kind of Robert Kraft versus Brady kind of thing. I'm not sure what it is, but it is weird how they did it, because it was just like, Brady got a statue, congratulations, and then that's it. And then he just said thank you and then walked away. Like you said, there should have been a lot of other players that maybe wanted to have like his Hall of Fame induction speech. When he gets it, like that would be the one where you would expect it, right? But this was just like all of a sudden, like here you go, here's your trophy. Okay, thanks, bye.
I don't understand why they just couldn't, I understand whatever politics are involved, but dude, they didn't even publicize this. They didn't market this. Forget you living here. Imagine you're living in Boston and you had no idea about this. You could have even drove down, man. Dude, people are diehard Brady fans, man. And what he did for that city, he brought what, 6 Super Bowls or 7 Super Bowls, whatever he won for, city of
6 for Patriots, 7 for himself.
Yeah. So it's crazy what he did, and so if we're not to even make it a big thing, you're supposed to make it a big thing, look, man, I understand that, fine, you don't want to, bring so much attention to it, but this is Tom effing Brady, man.
Exactly. It's not just a random player that you're gonna honor. It's Tom freaking Brady.
But see, this is what I'm saying, that puts elite franchise aside. So let's take Lakers for a reason, right? For example, not reason. For example, Lakers do it in such a professional manner, right? They have few of his former teammates come and talk about him. They have the great ones talk about him, and then he's the last one speaking up. Like they did that for Shaq. For Shaq, they had Magic, they had Kobe, they had everyone talk about it. For Kobe's, they had Magic, they had like other players come and talk about Kobe, even though he wasn't there, But like it's just like they had this whole fiasco of like party and like celebration, and like I actually went to one of the statue game for Kobe's where it was like tented out and like it was just a private thing, but it was still amazing. I mean, the fans couldn't see it, but Shaq, you could have see it, when people were doing that. But Kobe was gonna be such a big thing, I mean, it's just that Brady would have had his former teammates, man, who played with him in Patriots, like Willie McGinnis and like sheesh, like freaking Teddy Bruschi, and all the
man. Edelman would have loved Gronk,
Gronk, and all of them. I mean, they could have witnessed this, man. Like could have had a few say about it, But man, I was just shocked when I saw this Brady statue unveiled. I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, man. Like it's huge.
Right. Actually done right. It looks like him. Unlike
exactly.
The one.
Oh gosh, yeah, man. Exactly. So, but no, it was beautiful. It's like it's not like Iverson's where it's like a little tiny statue.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I'm just sad that they didn't do it in a right manner. He deserves better, especially what he's the whole only reason why Patriots have 6 Super Bowl championships.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, him and Belichick, but we found out later it was mostly Tom Brady. Right, Belichick couldn't get it done with any other quarterback.
Exactly, man. I
did appreciate the meme I saw. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like on social media, people put up the meme like, "Oh, it's so cute. The Patriots put up a father and son trophy." So it's like it shows Tom Brady's trophy. I mean, a statue, and then it has Eli Manning in the back behind it. It's like a father and son because Eli beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl. So I was like, I like that. I found it hilarious, even though I hate the freaking Giants. But that was a good
so
one.
Funny. I did like what Brady.
Let's get to some NFL preseason football.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. I think I'm lagging here. Hold on one second. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Yeah, it's still lagging a little bit. Now let me pause it. All right, we are back. Technical difficulties. Kenyo's still in India for some reason. All right. First, I guess the biggest news out of preseason so far is Shadur Sanders getting his first start for the Browns in a 30-10 win against the Panthers. Honestly, on paper, looked impressive, right? I think he made the right plays. He didn't look too nervous out there. Obviously, I think the first couple of snaps were a little iffy, but I think he settled in pretty fine. The kid's got it, dude. I mean, honestly, looking at that tape again, I know it's preseason, but like, what could the Browns throw out there that would tell me, yeah, we can do better than this with the team that they have built now? Like. That's what I'm saying. Like, what else? You can throw Joe Flacco out there. He might do a little bit better job. But as far as like any kind of movement in the playoffs or any kind of in contention, they're not gonna be there. So why not throw this kid out there? He drew all the headlines. I mean, whoever would have thought? Let me tune in to the Browns versus the Panthers preseason game. Whoever would have said that? And people watched it, including myself. I would have never done that, but I actually watched it, and it looked pretty good. Good thoughts?
Bro, It was amazing, man. I'm glad he shut everyone up. 14 of 23 with 138, man. That's beautiful. I mean, look, I understand he went up against some of the first team, some first team, more second team, and third team he went up against. People are always going to have naysayers saying that, he went up against second and third, but no, that's not the whole point. When you watch the game, he took total of 20. He was 14 out of 23. The guy looked comfortable. He knew what he was doing out there. Like you alluded to it, the first couple of snaps, there's nerves, right? You're gonna get out of that. It's gonna happen. He moved on from it. He looked comfortable. He made those passes that people were like, "Whoa, he can make those passes," And so it was great. I loved it, man. Remember we talked about it last week that it's going to be the most watched game, which it was. And people tune in for Browns. And he put up the numbers, man. I mean, I still don't understand how did 30 freaking teams, even my Rams, I love so much, passed up on this guy, man. Like, I have no idea. Like, I wish Rams would have drafted him in the third round and could have just had him learn under, Stafford. And, because Stafford's not healthy and he's old. Imagine having Shadur come in for like a quarter or a game, to kind of have Stafford, kind of get some rest, man. That would be great. But like, dude, I'm just surprised that they basically blackballed him, whatever you call that, blacklist him, that everyone passed up on him for a reason, and then on in fifth round, the Cleveland Browns like, fine, we'll pick you up, even though the GM doesn't want you still, I don't know, man. I mean, he passed the eye test. Usually when you watch this type of stuff for quarterbacks, the eye test is to pass. And like he did.
I mean, there were a lot of
that, he did great, man. I'm happy for the
other
guy.
quarterbacks who started. I think it was Cam Ward. A little iffy.
Cam Ward.
And then even the quarterback for the
Jackson Dart,
New Orleans Saints, also, they drafted him
Giants.
over, and yeah,
no one talks about anybody, dude. No one talked about Ward, who's the number one pick, right? No one talked about Jackson Dart, who people thought was a steal of the draft for the Giants. I'm gonna call them the Little Giants.
Yeah,
I've seen the movie Little Giants. I'm gonna call them the Little Giants. The Little Giants picked up Jackson Dart. He didn't do anything crazy, like he played well. I mean, but he didn't do anything crazy. People knew what his Sanders
I think
do,
that's it's definitely something I think they should
it's a box
consider.
office.
I think they did ask the coaches after the game, and they're still kind of adamant that he's not going to be a starting quarterback. They're going to give the ball to other quarterbacks first. But again, what are we doing out here, Browns? You have a gold mine. Throw the kid out there. People will watch your games. You'll get more televised things. And if he has any signs of greatness, some players may want to actually come to the Browns, which that never happens. You're a small market team. No one's gonna want to go to the Browns. But if he's balling out, you never know. Especially with the charisma that that Shadur Sanders brings. Like he can draw people into the franchise. So like I just think they're missing out if they're not gonna give him a shot. I hope that maybe like halfway through the season they realize they're not in contention, and if they throw the kid out there, okay, that makes sense. That's fine. But I think they definitely should give him a shot, and so that's my take on it. Yeah.
I mean, they should throw him, like you said. They should just do it the right thing.
Yeah,
now, this is what you call politics.
And I like how he's handling it. The
for some reason, why
there was a reporter that he faced after the game. Radio host, and then he's like, "What did I do?"
Radio host,
why are you not nice to me? You have nothing nice to say about me. And like face to face, but he's still humble. He still kicked the jokes. Like he's not serious about it. But like at the same time, you can tell like he listens to all this stuff. But he's also very much like very intelligent about how he goes by. Which I think he gets that from Dion. I think Dion was a little bit of loudmouth. I think he kind of balanced that pretty well versus what Dion used to do.
Yeah, man. But at the same time, I don't understand. Look, when you're like a radio host or podcast host or whatever, or in the anchor, you shouldn't be biased just hating a guy. You just shouldn't just hate him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hate the Celtics.
Maybe objective.
I picked them to win a championship because they're the better team. Yeah. They're better players, You got to be objective, right? You can't. I mean, I'm a homer for Lakers. I would not talk trash about the Lakers. I want Lakers to win a championship every year. That's what I feel like, So, but still, you as a radio host, like when you're like that respected in that city, you shouldn't like just badmouth someone, man. Especially if you don't know him and his game that well. You shouldn't just say, he's not ready. And I'm glad that, he confronted him because it shows that, he cares about what people are talking about him. And second, you do listen to that person and that person realizes that, damn, he has my respect. He actually does listen, and he went out and played well. And, like I alluded to it, like, Jackson Dart, he plays with Little Giants. He had a good game too. He had 12 for 19, 154 yards,
right.
which is slightly a little better, for yardage than, Sanders. But again, Sanders was talked about, right?
I think with the Giants, the biggest
so it just shows that
and I think you also said it when the draft happened, was that they drafted the best player in the draft in Abdul Carter. That kid is lights out. I mean, he's going to be a problem in this league. I think that's been the biggest takeaway with the Giants. They're like Jackson or whatever, but Abdul Carter is going to be legit.
Oh yeah, man, 100%. I know for a fact he will be this. I mean, he was the best player, when they picked him up. They got that and also a good quarterback, which is Jackson Dart.
He's
Russell Wilson's there, right?
So that's how much playing time he'll get for sure. So there's no way that he's going to start this game, especially now not in that division with the freaking Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Eagles. They got no shot. Just throw Jackson Dart out there. Why not? We got to lose. Yeah,
show something, man. I mean, he might prove, make them into
any other
the regular
games
Giants.
That caught your eye? I know we had some injury stuff happen with the Colts. Anthony Richardson had that pinky injury with the play that he got absolutely torched online by, and the fact that it's a basic read for a quarterback, day one is what they're calling it. But he completely missed the coverage, got blitzed, and absolutely got demolished. So he's injured. I'm not sure when he'll be back. What do you take? What do you take on? We talked about him a little bit last year too. He's a little cocky, you know. He's immature.
Very cocky, very cocky. Yes, he is. The game that caught my eyes was the same thing. What they did to Tom Brady is what they did to Pete Carroll in Seattle. So Raiders played at Seattle. This was fine. I agree with this move that celebrate the guy. He's coming back, because the reason why I say that is because Raiders and Seattle are not in the same conference, nor are they the same division. And they don't play this year against each other in the regular season. And this is the only shot that they will see Pete Carroll. Yes, they might have Pete Carroll next year in the Oakland Raiders against Seattle. I think next year after, whatever that is. But who knows? He might not coach for more than a year, right? So this is Pete Carroll's first appearance as a head coach who's not coaching Seattle. So they kind of give him, his flowers, so which is great. But the thing, I don't know if you saw the ending of that game. It's a preseason goddamn game. Why are you going for a tie when you can just go for a win?
Preseason.
If you lose, you lose. Like, why are you going for a tie, dude? Please tell me why you're going for a tie. Like, why are you going for a field goal? In this case, I mean, dude, it's a damn preseason game. It's not gonna count against you. Try a trick play. Try to get a touchdown or something, man. But going for a field goal,
I don't get that.
But whatever the case they went for,
it's
like, come on, man, what's wrong with you?
Your best second and third player when playing. What's the point? Just let it go. Just go throw a Hail Mary and do something.
And then you have one of the Seattle fans, because Smith is returning, right, to Seattle as well. And and they said that the two biggest busts in Raiders or whatever he said was Jamarcus Russell and Geno Smith. If you're Geno Smith, why do you freaking care what he says, dude? Like, why does it even? Why even give them attention, dude? They're fans. It's a short version, it's a long version named Fanatics. Dude. Come on, let it be, dude. Who cares? You're not a bust. You had a great career. You got paid well. You got paid handsomely.
Out of pocket, though.
Relax,
Geno Smith
dude.
is nowhere near a bust compared to. I know they get it's to get under his skin, but
dude, that's what I'm saying.
Fan, you should also be appreciative. He got you to the playoffs.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's not like Sam Darnold is going to do any better than Geno Smith did this year, if not worse, right?
Hey, man.
So like, I get why he did it. He probably just wants to.
Oh my gosh!
But you're right.
I think he's gonna do worse.
If you're a player, you just let that stuff go. It's false. You just laugh it off. You walk off the field. He's only there for cardio anyway. So what's the point even in taking it personally? So laugh and go.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamarcus Russell only got paid that first contract and then he was kicked out of NFL. Geno Smith, dude, this is your third contract, brother. You made handsome money. You're not in the same stratosphere as Jamarcus Russell's, man. You're good. You are a starting. So why even, you know what I'm trying to say, Tappas? If someone tells me that, Kunil and this guy who sucks in basketball are the two worst players, okay, that's fine.
Exactly.
And I'm getting paid millions. I don't give a shit. If you want to say that, by all means.
And they want that reaction out of you, obviously, right? So that was funny. That was a funny picture.
Yeah, it's for talking about Seattle, right? One of my buddies was a big Seattle fan. We send each other stuff about sports, and he's a huge Seahawks fan. So he sends me this, but apparently, what's his name? Sam Darnold, who's a new QB for Seattle. I guess he said the following, right? He's like, I feel like people are sleeping on Seattle. They were 4-2 against the NFC West, which is our division last year. They won 6 of their last 8 games last year. They have the best defense in the division, which I don't agree with. They're significantly upgraded their offensive coordinator, which they got a new offensive coordinator, and also offensive line this year, right? But he's saying about past tense where you're the new QB. They downgraded on the QB position. So what are you saying about yourself, man? I mean, that was Geno Smith at the top, doing this. I mean, the reason they were, 4-2 is because Geno Smith played well. The reason they were 6 of 8 in the end of the season is because Geno Smith played well. I mean, let's see what you do, Darnold. I mean, let's talk about you. Let's not talk about past tense, how Seattle was good last year. It's about right now. You're going to be the main guy. Let's see if you can handle pressure and produce what did last year, And they don't have the best defense in the NFC West. I mean, is it going to be the Rams or the Niners? How the
He's just trying to
confused,
get
So
hype up the
Seattle,
crowd.
I don't know what they're talking
They
about, man.
need the
So yeah,
12th man, so he's doing whatever he can. And also, like, there's a lot of doubt about Sam Darnold, about how, like, okay, without the best receiver in the league, what can you do now? Like, without Justin Jefferson, what are you gonna do with Nigma, whatever his name is, right? Or Higba, right? Yeah, and whatever else they throw out there, like,
Jackson's been thinking,
what can you do now? And so that's gonna be the thing. He's probably just trying to hype himself up.
Exactly.
Couple of injuries. So we have Jordan Love going down. When this is the second year straight. After that one magical season he had, he's always hampered by injuries, a little bit of here, and of course, including your brother, Packers fan, will always be like, "Oh, well, Jordan Love is injured. This is, otherwise we would have been great. What can you do?" And that's that. So this is another year starting off. He had a procedure done, I think. Not sure what the timeline for his return is. But this would be another reason why the Packers may not make it, and another reason why the Packers fans are going to give, because Jordan Love was injured in the preseason. Yeah,
we didn't have the full preseason with us, training camp with us, because Jordan Love wasn't there. Here we go, man. We already know their excuse coming through.
Yeah,
my brother
and then another one, which I would love to get your take on it as a Rams fan. So there is a lot of interesting talk around Matthew Stafford and his back injury. They're saying that there's something bigger because he's not practicing fully. He's limping kind of one way. Sean McVeigh said, no, he's fine. He's good to go, week one. But do you think is this something, or is it nothing? Or are they trying to hide it? What do you think?
Honestly, to be honest, he's on his last leg. It is something. This reminds me more of Peyton Manning's last year's when he was playing for Denver, when he actually won a Super Bowl with them too. He had the same tendency. Peyton Manning never stood it up during training camp, even preseason. He didn't even take one snap. So what they're doing is that. So what I read is that they came up with this formula, analytics, right? That how many snaps can Stafford actually take, and let's keep him around that snap count. That's it. So how many times he can be on the field. So they're monitoring him like to the T, so they can get him to the season, out of the season, to the playoffs. Hopefully to the Super Bowl. But like, I do feel that you'll see a lot of Jimmy G playing for us, which I don't mind. I mean, Sean McVay there, but when the game matters, when it really matters, Stafford should be there, will be healthy to go. I do feel that I would not be surprised if Jimmy G actually starts the season, the first 4 games for the Rams. I think so, yeah, man. And kind of just make sure, because he's going through another procedure too, I heard, Stafford is. And so they want to make sure he's ready to go more in like November, December, January than they care about September and October. Because if you look at the Rams' last 2 seasons, man, they made a crazy ass run every second half of the season. Every time. Like last year, they were 7 of 8. The year before, they were almost like 8 of 8, but they were also 7, 8, 8. They made that playoffs, The Rams are my friend, right, who's a Seattle fan again. He always says Rams, they suck, in the beginning. The reason they suck in the beginning is Sean McVay is actually, he uses his players so differently. None of the players suits up during preseason for us. Not even Devontae Adams or Kyron Williams or anybody, our main players. They don't play. Like even Jared Verse and all of them, like, they're not going to play that many snaps if they do even play, They don't really suit up during preseason. So our preseason is actually the first 4 games. That's why our record is horrible in our first 4 games. It's usually 1-4 or like 2-4 or 3-4, whatever the case is, We're very like bad, the first 4 games, because our first 4 game is actually getting to know each other and kind of playing well, So that's why we take off. Like, if you notice, every time week 7 and beyond, Rams take off. Yeah. Because they're playing better with exactly. So I do feel that I would not be surprised if Matthew Stafford in the first 4 games maybe plays 1 or 2 games, and then Jimmy G comes in, or another person comes in and plays for us. Because you gotta understand, we have all the weapons, right? Whatever quarterbacks comes in, he has Puka and Devontae Adams, and now we just re-signed Kyrie Williams, right? We have weapons, so we're good to go. And we feel like our defense is good enough where some games our defense will win, right? Like, for example, the first game we're playing is against the Houston Texans. I don't think we need offense to beat Houston Texans. We need our defense. Yeah. If we can pressure, the quarterback for him. Yeah, last year he didn't play well in pressure, right? So I think that's the type of game that our defense will win. Like season opener, Houston Texans. They don't have. I mean, their offense is okay. It's not great, But if you pressure the quarterback, we'll be fine. That's all that matters. So I do feel that It is something, but they want to get him healthy, and they want to get him right more in November, December, and January when it really matters than September and October when it doesn't really matter, and you can play catch up. Because I think for us, we proved it that look, we don't need to win the division. We can win the wild card. It's good to have a good record because as you saw against the Eagles, we lost, right? It was in Philadelphia. We would have loved the game in LA, but again, Eagles whooped our ass in LA twice. Last year and the year before, they whooped our ass. One of the games last year, Saquon fucking broke the record. Had 300 rushing yards or something, some 5 touchdowns. I don't know what the hell he had, So it's not like, okay, I'll be honest with you. If Philly plays in LA or Philly plays at home, they're a good team, man. So it doesn't matter, And again, we were 7 yards away of beating that team in Philly, in the snow. So we know we can, if we are healthy Stafford, we know we can go to anyone's house and win the game, So we don't mind not winning the division or having a good record. We just want to get into the playoffs and let everything, let it take care of itself, basically, So I do feel that, don't be surprised if Stafford's
that
not
makes
there.
sense at why they would do it, because he is, when he's healthy, he's very elite. I think one of the knocks with Stafford in his career was that he takes a lot of hits, but he doesn't really take plays off. He goes 100% every single time to his detriment. That's how he gets injured so often. It's kind of like Carson Wentz was, he would either go all in or nothing at all, and that's just how he was. I think that one game in Detroit where he I think he broke his shoulder, but he's still limping. All right, come on, we gotta go first down. He's like, what? No, dude, take your time off. So I think it's probably just them preventing him from getting more injured. Like you said, preventing him from getting injured later on in the season, which is when they need him, because you put that defense out there that you had in the playoffs. You put one of the best coaches in the NFL, and Sean McVeigh, and you put the 6th best quarterback in the NFL right now, according to executives, that you have a chance to win. That's what. And they'd rather do that versus, and honestly, your division is not competitive. I don't see the Niners really rebounding all the way back. There's already some injury stuff happening with them. So and in the Seahawks, I honestly don't think they're gonna be as competitive as they were last year with Geno Smith. So, and Raiders are Raiders, or I don't know who your 4th team is, but yeah, Niners, yeah. So it's not really going to be a factor.
Niners, and
I
Cardinals,
think it's smart by the Rams to just be a little bit more cautious with Stafford. He's over 30 years old now, so he's an old guy technically. Yeah.
Oh man, he's closer to 38, man. To be honest, right there in age, it's crazy, dude. He's old, man, and it's insane. So honestly, I want to see how Niners bounce back without Debo not being there anymore. The reason McCaffrey always went off is because Debo was playing the same way like McCaffrey did. That opened up McCaffrey's, runs, right? And Debo's not there anymore. So I want to see how that offense takes a hit, right? And Arizona is going to be Arizona. We don't know how good they are. And Seattle, they lost Metcalf, right? I mean, that's the reason why Jackson was playing better, because Metcalf was there, taking that out. Now we know who to guard, in Seattle. I think Rams will be fine, man. We just want to get in the playoffs and we're good to go. But before we move on to the NBA, I know we're talking about NBA. No, I don't want to talk about NBA. Sorry, Teddy Bridgewater.
The dude, tell me about your dude is trying to do good for his. So the story is that he got suspended by the college football because of high school football, because he was offering high school free rides to kids for paying for the Uber ride because the kids couldn't make it, or they want to make sure they get proper nutrition. So he was paying for the meals, just being a good dude, right? And I think there was a comment by one of his teammates, I forgot who it was, where he's like, Teddy is one of the most wholesome, nice people that you will ever meet. He is genuinely a very good person, and he's just trying to give kids a free, just because in high school, people like Reggie Bush and whatever, they're getting G-Wagons, and I get that. You suspend people because you're incentivizing a lot of money, but paying for someone's Uber and meals just because they couldn't get to the game or they couldn't have a full plate of food because their family couldn't make it. I think that's kind of messed up. You have to have a silver lining. I know it's still giving free money and it's technically against the rules. I get that, but there should be some kind of he's trying to do the right thing, right? He's trying to help these people. I don't know what you take.
I mean, I have a similar take as you, right, man? Yeah. Look, this is
you give an
this is when you don't go by the rule book. You don't go. This is not black and white, right, man?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
He's not giving money to recruit players. He's not doing that. He's not giving Uber right to a rival school, like a high school rival school player. to go home. No. They asked about it, because he's currently on an NFL roster right now as a backup, and they asked him about it. What's your take on this? And he's like, "Look,
Right.
I'm privileged to make good money, really good money, and I know how it is in high school. And these kids, their parents don't have they have to work. They don't have time to get picked up, and I don't want." When our practice ends at nighttime, I don't want that kid to put his life in danger just to walk home. All I did is that I want to get him home safe. That's my job. In the end, those high schoolers are my kids. And if I can afford it, if I can get them home safe and not worry about them, getting into trouble or something happening to them, I'll take it, And the thing is this, some kids don't have food because, food is expensive. And I know how it was in high school. So for me to get them food and like Uber Eats or whatever, DoorDash, I get them food, I don't mind because I have that type of money. I'm not breaking rules. I'm just doing what God has sent me to do, is to provide for the kids. I have the money. I have what I can do, So, and I completely understand that. I completely agree with that, because if you have that type of money, if you're doing what you love, passion, you're coaching in a high school football team. And yes, I know how it is in high school, man. Like, I have had friends, even though I went to a nice high school in Sunny Hills in Fullerton.
Yeah.
I've had, people that can't really afford food, man.
Right.
Even though they go to that type of high school, it doesn't mean you can, I mean, it's a public school. People can go there, but you don't have to pay for that school. But still, they just can't afford a meal like that sometimes, man.
Exactly.
If you have that type of money, why not,
there's no
man? Do something good,
for the
man.
high school athletes,
I mean,
right?
it's hard.
They're scrutinized and they don't get paid. Like, at least college football now, they have the NIL, so they can make some money on the side and provide.
They don't.
Families. That's fine. I get it. But high school is not like that, right? So it's just a coach trying to protect his kids. I mean, at the end of the day, he's also a teacher because he's a high school, coach, which is also a high school teacher. And and as a teacher, you do whatever. I mean, teachers at my daughter's school, they buy crayons for the kids. They buy paper. They buy all these things for the kids to use in the classroom. And so that way they can get a proper education. We're not going to say, teacher, you can't pay for that. We're going to suspend you because you're giving to your kids. No, like, it's the same thing. He's giving kids foods. He's giving them rides to the games and back, whatever. Like, I don't get why they're so, like, strict on it. I don't know if it's just because maybe because I think some other coaches in the same division as them complained that it's not fair. We can't afford to pay our kids, and so my kids are saying, "Oh, well, why can that coach do it and you can't?" And so they think that's unfair. To that, I say, like, well, then that's a high school football problem, not necessarily Teddy Bridgewater trying to do the right thing. Then you fix a high school football situation. Then you complain to the district. Exactly. You don't complain to the coach who's trying to do whatever he can to provide for his kids. I don't get that.
And dude, if I was a high school coach, if my player came up to me and be like, "Hey, that coach is doing all that. How come you're not?" Well, I'll tell him this: "Hey, look, you can go to that school.
If it's that bad, you
can play for that coach."
Yeah.
I mean, he has everything. He has all the tools. You can go. I'm not telling you to stick around here. You don't have to stay here. I can replace you with another player, so don't worry. You can walk there and go get those free Uber rides and get the free food if you want. Yeah. I can't afford that. Exactly. He wants to do it out of his heart. Let it be, by all means. So I think it was so stupid, man. I'm happy what he did, Teddy Bridgewater.
I'm doing
that's so stupid, man.
I was told to do by a higher power to do this for my kid, so I'm gonna do it. All right, before we get into NBA, I do have one more question for you. I want to get your hot take on it. So the NFL executive scouts and coaches ranked their top QBs in the league, and the only player that got a unanimous vote for number one was Joe Burrow. You got a unanimous vote. Then it's Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I don't know why. I saw one that said Matthew Stafford number 5, and then the one I'm looking at now says that Jaden Daniels number 5. Then it's Stafford at 6, Justin Herbert at 7, Jared Goff at 8, and then the Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurtz at 9, and then to end it, it'd be Baker Mayfield. So, what are your thoughts on this list as a whole? Joe Burrow being, quote unquote, the best quarterback in the league, and then your hot take around why would Jalen Hurts not be there?
Okay, a few things.
No?
Jaden Daniels should not be in the top 10. I'm sorry.
NFC Championship?
Not enough samples. No, not enough sample size, man. I'm sorry. Because think about it, man. The year before, we had our main man that you were high on, Mr. Stroud, right? What's his name? CJ Stroud or whatever his name is from Yeah, I can't say his name, but whatever the case is, he played really well 2 years ago. Came back last year and didn't play well enough. He played good.
Tank Dell went out. His best
No, he has QB injury. Receiver injuries. Whatever the case is. Yeah, but if you like Mr. Goat, Tom Brady didn't have an elite receiver. All right, so don't give me that. Don't give me.
I'll give him a
don't give. Okay,
Mahomes.
Worthy went out. Worthy went out. Mahomes adjusted nothing, bro. Okay. So I wouldn't put Daniels just there yet. To be honest with you, I just wouldn't, because that's just 1 year, one sample size. The way I see it is that the NFL teams did not have proper.
So if you take out, so let's say you take out Jalen Daniels,
see how he was going to play,
and he's top 5 according to this list. You take him out of the top 10 completely. Who do you put in the top 10 instead? You can't think of anything. He's legit. Who? Don't say Dak Prescott. Don't say Dak Prescott. Okay. So we got Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurtz, and Baker Mayfield. We'll lower them down.
Okay, fine. I agree with you. I'll keep them in top 10, but I'll put them in 9 where Jalen Hurts is. But the thing is this, I wouldn't put Jalen Hurts back up there. I move everybody up and put Daniels number 9. I'll do that. And my take on Hurts being that low is, like when Stafford won, when the Rams won, you knew Stafford was the reason why they won. When Patriots won, you knew Brady was the reason they won. When Giants won, you knew Eli was the reason they won. This Super Bowl, even though Saquon did not have the best game at all, he actually had the worst game of the season, right? Because the defense was just so gauged with Saquon that opened up for Jalen Hurts. Yeah. But if it wasn't for Saquon, you wouldn't even be at that position to be playing the Super Bowl. To be honest with you,
the Rams
killed the Commanders in the championship game, killed the Rams in the game before, and like he took you during the season. Saquon had the most wins as a position player for non-QB. And I think it was, I want to say it's 9, if I'm not mistaken. It was about 9 wins that Saquon has won for the Eagles last year. And if you take those 9 wins away, or you cut that in half, Eagles don't make the playoffs.
The defense won the Super Bowl. Not necessarily. The offense got the opportunities, but that defense was just another level.
Yes, exactly. That defense played like what
possessed.
What Tampa did against Mahomes, And yeah, exactly. And my take is this: I wouldn't put Joe Burrow there yet. Number 1, I would actually this is and I know people will disagree with me. I would put Mahomes number 1. I'm a big fan of Mahomes. Mahomes number 1.
I agree.
Josh
I think that's
Allen
what most people would say. Josh Allen. Mahomes is kind of on his own level. Right, and then below you have Josh Allen creeping up to him.
Exactly.
Then you got Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. I think those are top 4 that are also in their own category. Everybody else is like 2 steps behind.
Yeah, exactly, man. But doesn't it show you, man, how going back to the number 10 guy, Baker Mayfield, man? Doesn't it show you like just spending 4 games
a lot of that
with Sean McVeigh?
A lot of it. He said because his 4 games at the Rams, that was the biggest thing in my entire life that I did.
He got cut by the Raiders, signed with the Rams. First game was during Christmas game. I remember this, and we were down against the Raiders. I think we played the Raiders and we were down, and he came all the way back and won. And we changed the whole thing for him, man. He got that big contract by the Tampa Bay. He took over after Tom Brady. It's insane, man. So it's insane. Sean McVay, man. If he can somehow win 2 more Super Bowls,
he is one of the
3.
I think behind Andy Reid.
Man, dude.
Probably the best coach behind Andy Reid. He's not better than Andy Reid, dude.
Yeah.
He's.
I don't know, man.
But hopefully for him, he has a long career as a coach. He always flirts with not coaching, but I hope he does, because he could be potentially a great coach of all time.
Sean McVay, I feel like the way he's doing, with the way his career is going, he
could be.
He's gonna be like a John Madden, dude. People talk about John Madden. Like there's a game after John Madden. I'm not saying there's a game after Sean McVay. I'm saying John Madden, people still talk about. John Madden only won 1 Super Bowl, I think, or 2. I don't know how many he won with Raiders or whatever the case. But John Madden was just offensive genius, like he was such a great coach, right? And so I think Sean McVay is going to be one of those coaches who's going to have a great coaching career and a great
he always flirts with retiring already, which I hope he doesn't, because he's a very smart coach.
Yeah.
My only thing with so I agree with the list for the most part. I'm pretty high on Joe Burrow. I think he would be great if he had a defense, if he had a decent offensive line. He has great receivers, no doubt. But his offensive line sucks balls. As far as Jalen Hurts, so like this topic came up on first we speak, or first for whatever it's called, with Nick Wright and them and Chris Broussard. And Eric Mangini brought up a stat which I thought was very interesting about Jalen Hurts. So in 2023-2024, Jalen Hurts was throwing more than 30 times per game, 30 attempts of throwing per game, and that's why they imploded. Right, they were 9-5, whatever. They missed the playoffs, right? And in the beginning of this past season, he also threw more than 30 times, which the league average for starting quarterback is 32, and he was throwing more than 30, and they were 2-2. After that, they limit his throws below 30, and they took off. So it just says that they don't trust Jalen Hurts to make the right decision when as a thrower. Rather, he got, and like you said, 9 wins by Saquon by himself. And Saquon had a potentially legendary season last week if he had broken the record, but he didn't. If he had, he didn't break it, right? He didn't break it. Nope. Yeah, he set him out right. So he could have, but that's the last game. They set him out for them to get there and to also diminish Jalen Hurts. So I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He makes the right decision in certain aspects of the game, but you can't rely on him to carry your team to finish line. If you take Saquon out of that team last year and put in Joe Mixon, any other running back that's good, and you put him in there, they're not getting to where they got without Saquon. Without that legendary season, they're not getting there. So, like, again, I think he's also probably plays. And I know our buddy always sends me memes about, like, why do people hate Jalen Hurts? I don't get it. And he's so disrespected. Again, as a if you look at it objectively, and I always tell him this, I'm like, if you take away Jalen Hurts from the Eagles and put him with the Kansas City Chiefs, and you take out Mahomes and put him in Eagles, who's guaranteed to win it? Exactly, Mahomes. You would think the Chiefs are not even going to make the playoffs.
Oh gosh,
if you have Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback. That's how I look at it. The 4 quarterbacks we just mentioned, the top 4, I would say you put them in any team, they'll be instantly great. After that,
they can do it.
It's a hand.
They can do it. They can do it. It's a crapshoot. Yep. I agree with you, man. Complete. Which is crazy though, because the 2 years ago, that season you're talking about, I remember it was Eagles versus San Francisco. The both teams were like, I think 8-1, and they both collided. And then after that, that's when Eagles went on their downhill. They couldn't win a game after that because the Niners beat them and they couldn't win after that. Like something happened. They lost in the first round against Tampa, in the playoffs. So they were broken, crazy broken, man. So it's insane, dude. I was like, gosh, let me tell before we move on to NBA really quick, let me tell you one. It's not a trivia, or I don't know what to call this, but let me ask you a question, okay? This was I saw this on Instagram or I think Twitter. It's going viral. Maybe you've seen it, okay? In Alaska, if it rained every year one time in the past 30 years, I love this, dude. So you know about this, right? Okay, so basically what I'm getting at is that one of this guy's girlfriend or fiance or wife, wherever she is, this guy's a big Dallas fan. He has Dallas jersey on. His, significant other asked him that if it rained every year for 30 straight years, how much money will you put?
All of it.
That it's gonna rain this year. And this guy's like, he's like, all my life savings, everything. And she's like, okay. So then why do you because he's like, well, there's stats behind, there's data behind that it's raining every year, so I'm gonna put my money on this. So then she's like, then we have all the stats and all the data that Cowboys are not gonna win the Super Bowl. So why do you think every year they're gonna win it?
I agree with her.
It's so true. Every year they never win.
Every
but they always feel like this is their year.
I follow are always like, this is special. I'm like, you say that every preseason, dude. Like, every single time you're like, this is special. I feel it. You haven't got Micah Parsons figured out yet. You're not doing anything this season. I'm sorry, like nothing's gonna happen. I love it. I saw that. I was cracking up. I couldn't stop laughing. All right, get into some NBA. So NBA has announced the season opener and Christmas games. I forget who was. So opening night is Warriors against the Lakers.
So. Well, the first cap is Houston at OKC.
That's smart by them.
That's the one I want to talk about, bro.
I love KD going back to OKC to watch them hang up their championship banner was something he could not do. What are your thoughts, man?
I love it. I love it, man. I freaking love it. You have no idea how much I love it because I don't look. if KD goes in the back and not watch the banner hung up, he's gonna get bashed for this because media's gonna when the banner's raising. It's so sad when the banner's coming down. They're not gonna put out the OKC players. You can put out KD's face and the banner, KD's face and the banner. And if you're KD, just own it up, man. I mean, you had a chance to deliver a championship for that city, that town. You're top of your game at the time, and you just
KD's
basically left their ass.
I feel like he'll either
it's not a big deal.
come out late or miss the game entirely. I just feel like he'll be like, I'm not fully healed yet, whatever issue I have. But it's very smart by NBA. Obviously, the two teams are favored to win the West, both OKC and the Houston Rockets. So that's also a good matchup overall to see how the new Rockets look as well. Well, we're gonna get with OKC. We already know that. But with the Rockets, it'd be kind of cool to see how they match up against OKC Thunder. Another game of contention is going to be definitely the Lakers versus Golden State Warriors. I feel like is that kind of been our usual first games usually, right? Yeah, you're the fake them or
I would have put the Clippers in this case.
That would have been a better Clippers Lakers.
Hey, I was half right, dude. Scam Sharania was half. People don't know about it, but people who doesn't know about this, there was a tweet a week before that I got scammed by Scam Sharania about the opener game release. He got the half of them right, other half wrong. He got 3 teams correct though. He got the Rockets, OKC playing each other. And then Lakers playing, but not the team who I thought they were going to play.
You're an auditor.
That would have been great.
This is something that you should be catching for all of us. I was like, I honestly saw it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even look at it. And then buddy's like, dude, it's Scarania.
But neither did I, or neither did Ramona Shelburne, because she retweeted that right away. And then it got deleted, and I wonder why it got deleted. Like, what the hell's going on?
All right.
But yeah, man, I got scammed, dude. I got scammed. But I really don't like that matchup. I really don't care for that Golden State and Laker matchup. It's just like whatever. I wish they would put Clippers, and that would have been great because Clippers always think they're like the Dallas Cowboys. They're always better than Lakers. They're always gonna be and all this, NBA experts thinks that Clippers are better.
As far as
I wish Clippers would have played
Christmas games go, you got the Knicks and Cavaliers, which would be good. Spurs and the Thunder. Rockets at Lakers, which would be a good one. Mavericks against the Warriors, and Minnesota versus the Nuggets. I feel like they missed it where they should have had Mavericks against Lakers. That would have been a good Christmas Day game.
All they had to do was switch the Rockets and Dallas. That's all they had to do. Because Game 7 of last year, Warriors went into Dallas. I mean, in Houston and won Game 7, and that's a game that Buddy Hield had 8 straight threes or something, whatever, and they won that. Remember? And then why not have
it just makes sense.
Lakers and Dallas play each other, man.
You bring AD back. It's at Lakers. So you bring him back. Seriously, and Luka's there, right? It's right there in front of them. Why would they not do it? I don't get it. And they're both playing on the same day. I don't get that.
I agree. I completely agree. And then the thing is that they also missed. I know they want to do Chet Holmgren versus Wemby.
Yeah,
that's why they're doing OKC against Spurs, but I would have wanted OKC against.
That was a good series.
Denver.
Denver's the only team that gave them a hard time. Yeah,
like that was such a close series. Yeah, why not have them play each other, man, and then just have Wemby against freaking Gobert against Minnesota? Like 2 French boys playing each other. Like why not do that? Like I don't understand what the hell the NBA just did there. It just doesn't make any sense. Because again they're competing in the NFL, so you should have more of a marquee matchup. But yeah, man, I wish Dallas would have played the Lakers, man. I don't think anyone cares about Houston and Lakers.
There's no headline.
Durant might not even play.
Yeah.
Durant might not even play, dude.
Both the Lakers and the Rockets are kind of high up in this time. But even then, it's middle of the season. No one really cares about that right now. All right, and then I think another one you had was the Celtics. I'm not sure what the news on Celtics was, but you have the Celtics on there. Is there an update for them or?
Oh yeah.
Missoula?
Yeah. It's funny. I drew Boston Celtics. No, this is the first time in I think they said 10 years. The Celtics not playing Christmas. They always had the Celtics playing. They're not marquee team playing it at all.
That's true.
They're usually playing season opener somehow, or they're playing either Christmas game. For sure, Christmas Day they're playing usually, and they're not playing this year.
Yeah,
which I don't understand because they still have a good team without Tatum. I mean, they're still going to be in playoff contention. I don't understand, and it's funny you don't see Milwaukee Bucks anywhere. And if you're Giannis, it shows. When you don't play for a big market, they don't give a shit about you.
I mean,
just saying.
Cavs and Knicks is going to be a good series, but maybe I think the Spurs and Thunder we can do without. Put the Celtics in there. I think they deserve to be in there. Or hell, even take the Timberwolves out. I think they're going to be they're a little overhyped.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's just Anthony Edwards thinking he can be the
All right.
number
And then I think the last thing we had was Luka. So Luka dropped 31 pounds so far. He looks in great
Yup.
shape. So I
Yup.
think the biggest thing with him is, can he keep it off? What do you think? Is this a long-term thing, or do you think it's just like
That's a big question.
instant
That's a big question.
motivation, and then we'll see how it pans out?
Man, I told you, right? Luka is like the only player that reminds me of Kobe. You know, he's a demon, man. He's like Tom Brady, right? Also, it was Kobe Day. You know, what it was. We just passed it, I think. You know, where Dodger had Kobe bobblehead day. You know, which was awesome. But yeah, no. What I'm trying to say is that he's hungry, man. He wants to win this. It's kind of when Kobe wanted to win that championship. Like after Shaq wanted, he even wanted to win it even more. You know. And so Luka's out there to prove everyone, especially Dallas, I'll win one before you will. And I think Luka is really motivated, man. They just made, that bear. They poked the bear and they woke him up. And he's an assassin, man. He's gonna kill people, man. And I think he will keep in shape because that's all was talked about when he got traded. He's out of shape, this and that and that. And freaking JJ Redick also saying the same shit, saying we gotta get in championship shape. You're an idiot. But like, I'm just glad he got in shape, man. And I think he'll keep it off. Yeah. He's happy now. He's moved on. I feel, I'll tell you how I feel, when I'm injuring Nobu in June on your expense. But yes, it's gonna be great. Lakers have a chance to do something that you don't even think they do, man.
Man,
when you got Luka,
I can't wait
for
my yellowtail
sushi
Luka and Nobu. Their Wagyu beef tacos are to die for. They're $20 a pop for them. They're like this tiny, but they're so good, man. I cannot wait for that. But you know what, on the real, it's like I am happy.
Don't bet against my Lakers.
He keeps this off, like you said. This is gonna be more of he's gonna be hungry until he wins it kind of thing. I think he will put his head down and go all the way. Especially after LeBron, I think he'll be even more motivated. I know a lot of people are associating this weight loss with LeBron, like, oh, LeBron's keeping him in shape. I don't think that's happening. It's just him being self-motivated to yeah, exactly. And
he got motivated. He got in the gym. And then and he knows, and at the same time, your own teammate doesn't want to
get traded out. The second best player in the team is trying to get traded out. So obviously, I think he's also motivated by that. And I think in the final thing is the Lakers are kind of enabling it, like saying that you can feel safe in this franchise. You know how like with the Mavericks, where like after he won the West Conference Finals, he had a beer in his hand, and Michael Finley came by and took it away. Like that's not gonna happen with Lakers. No, they're not gonna micromanage this guy and be like, "Yo, you can't be yourself. Go do your thing. You guys to the West Conference Finals and you won it. Go freaking have a beer. Why not? You deserve it." So I think he also hopefully feels a little bit more safer with the Lakers, and obviously the Laker fans love him. Like we truly have already taken him as a lifelong Lakers. It's good situations.
Hell yeah, man. And the thing is, I will say this: he'll keep it off until he wins that championship.
But until he gets one, yeah, he will be a man possessed.
He will, and I'm telling you, man. Like, if you're a betting man, I would bet my money on Luka winning the MVP this year, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Just to show Mavs that, look, dude, you don't know what you just did.
You know? For him to win MVP. This is the season where he really needs to like average 35 points a game or triple double. Lakers are like third or fourth in the West, right? And then
he will easily, man. Bro, I love this roster, dude. I'm telling you, man. I know people are not. I sound like a Dallas Cowboys fan, but dude, I love this roster, dude. You got arguably the number one pick on your team, right? Who's gonna be motivated again, right? DeAndre Ayton. You got Marcus Smart. People make it seem like he's 38 years old and injured. No, he's 31 and injured, which he's not gonna get injured. He's gonna be healthy. And so, dude, you got Marcus Smart as your defensive. Gosh, dude, you have no freaking, and you have Austin Reeves, dude. Austin effing Reeves, dude. And the one thing you can bet on LeBron, man, even though he wants out, but one thing about LeBron, he'll be a true professional and he'll play hard. And so you can't bet against that. Oh, by the way, one last thing before we call it bye. LeBron's alive on Instagram. Did you see? He posted Shadur Sanders stat line saying, "Go, you do your thing, King," or something. He's alive, dude. He's alive. So what happened a week ago? LeBron on Saturday. 1 week before that, when your boy signed for the 3 years, what happened then, man? You couldn't save to Luka? Like, come on, man. Like, you couldn't shout him out, but you want to shout out Shadur Sanders has no value in it? Like, come on, man. Get your
He will never
get,
ever.
get your
I
shit
don't know
together.
which team is gonna put a statue out for him. No, it's time to be Lakers. I don't know if Dan Gilbert's
Cavs.
still the owner there. Yeah, but even then, he'd be like,
But I mean,
but
he did
again,
bring a championship there. That he will get one there.
yeah, he's got to retire his
Yeah.
cap. You can't go back and forth. I'm just saying, he for sure won't. Right? Lakers are not. We have too many great ones. So he may not even get a statue. You don't know, right?
Yeah, he's not one of them.
It's kind of like the about retiring number 15 for the Denver Nuggets, right? Carmelo played number 15, and now it's Jokic. Melo's entire history is gonna be erased as a Nugget because 15 will be up on the banner retired for sure after Jokic is done, right? So it'd be the same thing with LeBron. Yeah,
easy to Jokic brought a championship to that team.
All right, well, let's actually end it there. We will be back next week. More NFL stuff. I'm sure stuff will happen. Until then, Brown Balls, we are out.
Yep.